Legendary sitcom director James Burrows has spent 5 decades making America laugh, directing over 1,000 episodes of television. Just take a look at some of his highlights.
It's never gonna happen. What? You and Rachel. Why not? Because you waited too long to make your move, and now you're in the friend zone.
It's nice to finally meet you, Mrs. Chambers.
Diane's told me about you. You're almost as handsome as she says you think you are.
What does a yellow light mean? Slow down. What? Yellow light mean.
I remember that.
Let's give a huge round of applause for James Burrows.
Oh, Jimmy, I'm so excited to see you and share you with these fabulous people. And, you know, we have so many taxi stories and so many wonderful memories and so many things that you and I have been through and knowing each other as long as we have. And it's just so great that you wrote this book because now you get to walk everybody through your entire career and all these wonderful shows and what your little, well, I always called it the Jimmy goodies. He had these little goodies that he'd make you do, like who no one else would think of them like he did. And just all the little delicious things that you see in any of those shows that you love, they came from him.
Wow. Now I'm hungry and I want to talk to him. So I wanted to ask you, James, you met Mary Lou when you were directing Taxi. Can you tell us about specifically those roller skating nights with the cast and crew?
Yeah, we would have a cast party after we shot on Friday, and it was because of the young 20-year-olds in the cast like Mary Lou and Jeff Conaway and Tony Danson. Wow. So it was party central. But occasionally, when we were on a week off or on a rehearsal day at night, we would go to a roller skating rink. I'm not sure if that was Mary Lou's idea or Tony's, but, you know, my knees were not great.
No, but you know what? Every time I hear the song Miss You by the Rolling Stones, I think of you. Yeah. That was your song. That's Jimmy on the skates. Ooh.
I know. I never skated with a dog collar, but
we really want to hear more about this dog collar.
I thought it was you with the dog collar.
But James, you got to spill the tea, because who is the biggest troublemaker on the Taxi set?
Tony.
Oh, Tony.
I could see that.
Yeah.
And Mary Lou shook her head, so she's in agreement with you. We have to talk about Cheers, the show that you co-created. How did you prepare Ted Danson to play Sam Malone?
Teddy was a farceur from Carnegie Mellon. He was not sports oriented at all. Oh, wow. But when we read the final reading for Sam and Diane, he and Shelley were definitely the best couple. So we sent him to bartending school, and we also sent Nick Colasanto to bartending school. And then I also took Teddy to his first baseball game.
Jeez.
Because Sam Malone was originally a wide receiver for the Patriots, but when we cast Teddy, we made it a relief pitcher for the Red Sox based on the spaceman Bill Lee. And so I took Teddy to his first baseball game, and I also, one of the finalists for Sam Malone was Fred Dreyer, who eventually went on to Hunter, but he was a defensive end for the Los Angeles Rams. And I said to Teddy, when we hired Fred to do 4 or 5 shows as a sportscaster, I said, watch him. Watch how he's a peacock. Watch how he looks at women. Watch how he grabs his groin. All that stuff.
Right.
Because that's what Sam Malone is. You know, and so Teddy watched him, and he looked at women, and one day he went over and grabbed Fred's groin.
He took it literally.
Yeah.
Jimmy,
and so that's what I tried to acquaint him what it is to be a stud.
A stud.
Jim, I mean, you have such an eye for like the details and for the cast in general, and you're such a legend in this business. How do you know when things are going to be a hit? Like, you have a famous story where you took the Friends cast out to Vegas before they were famous, and you goes, guys, enjoy your last moment of anonymity. How do you know? How do you know something's going to be a hit? How do you take these people and make them such big stars? And could you help me, Jimmy?
There it is.
Well, yeah, wear a dog collar, you'll be a big star.
That's my second option.
Touche.
But how do you know?
As Mary Lou can tell you, when we did Taxi, we had an audience run through. And this is before we had the official audience for filming. And you could tell from the pre-audience run through what they think of the show, because they are seeing characters they've never seen before and actors they've never seen before. And if they react to those actors and laugh at them, you know you got something going. So I had that on Taxi. I had that on Cheers. And on Friends, I had it too. And after about 3 or 4 episodes of Friends that I directed, I knew the audience loved these kids. So I said to Warner Brothers, can I have the jet? Wow. You know, don't everybody try that. And I took them to dinner in Vegas at Spago in Caesar's Palace. And I sat them around the table, and I said to them, this is your last shot at anonymity. I really said that because I knew how the audience was reacting to them, and they were all good looking, and they were all funny. And I was prophetically right. In hindsight, I took a chance, but I had pretty good evidence. So,
Unbelievable.
And it was a great evening.
I'm firing up the jet for us.
I know. I'm actually looking, Jimmy, at our executive producer. Don't forget about us. We would like a Spago trip as well.
Yeah, but you'll be on a King Air.
Exactly. Okay, we're going to continue our conversation with Jimmy and talk about his new book, directed by James Burrows, after the break. We'll be right back. Stick around.
We went to complain, and this closet case upstairs, cute in an offbeat way, got his number, totally gave us the brush off. And I just want to know how long I'm going to have to wait until I can see 2 gay men kiss on network television.
Not as long as you'd think.
Director Jimmy Burrows about his epic career. So, okay, you directed the first same-sex kiss on network television. Of course, we just saw it for Will and Grace. Did you know what a big deal that ended up being for TV?
Not really. It was, that was the funny moment. That was the moment we were shooting for the whole show. At that point, the show had a really good reputation. And we felt that would not make a difference in whether people watch the show or not. So there was not that much thought or fear about doing it.
You know, Jimmy, I know that your favorite episode you've ever directed, I get it, was the pilot for Cheers. But I always wanted to know what your favorite Taxi episode was, because mine was the one where you came to Danny and me, and it was being shot December 21st, 1979. It was called Shut It Down, Parts 1 and 2, and we had to do a 2-parter in one night. And you said if any 2 people can handle it, it's you 2. What was your favorite episode that you ever directed of Taxi? Did you have one?
Well, that certainly was one, because that started as a 1-parter, and during the week it was made a 2-parter, so it became an extraordinarily long evening.
I know.
That was one of my favorites.
Always fast. Always fast.
I remember Danny trying to kiss you was one of my favorite moments.
Me too.
In the whole piece. Rolling around, and you dressed up in winter coats.
4 of them.
You know.
Yeah. And I wore painful shoes just because Danny would make me laugh in the scenes, and I thought the only way I'm going to get through this is with a real stomach ache. So I wore painful shoes to bed the night before. Actor trick.
Wow.
It's true. It's true.
Jimmy, we only got about a minute left. I can listen to stories all day, literally.
Seriously.
But tell us about your book, directed by James Burrows. How did you decide which stories to include in it? Because you have so many.
I've been telling these stories for years, and my wife is tired of hearing them, and she said, please put them down somewhere so people can read about them, and I don't have to continually tell people about it. So I sat down to write these stories. They're not only my stories, but they're stories of my dad, who was a playwright and director on Broadway.
Wow.
And they're things that he taught me when I didn't know I was learning about directing, and his stories and stories that I've had in all the years I've been doing sitcom. And I'm glad so many people are enjoying the book, because I certainly enjoyed those moments in my life.
It's a gift. It's a gift for all of us to learn these stories. We appreciate you. If you at home want to hear more stories from his career, check out his new book directed by James Burrows. What a treat.
Every show
Wow.
that
Can't
you
believe
love.
it. Gold.
He did it.
I know.
Right here.
Ask Mary Lou about Channel 99.
Oh!
All right, we will.
That's right.
We'll be right back. Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you, Jimmy.
Love you, honey.